Today we're going to take a look at how to read nonfiction. We've looked at nonfiction text structure, and we've looked at those text features that help us find the information we're looking for while researching for our informational writing piece. However, sometimes we begin to read nonfiction and we've used the text features to find what we need, and we still have trouble understanding what we read. One of the ways that we can help ourselves with that is discovering the central idea. If we find the central idea of either the passage or the selection or even the entire work, we then begin to find the supporting details, and it makes it easier for us to understand what we're reading. What do I do if I don't understand what I read? And what can I do? Some helpful hints are to use the index or table of contents or the other text features we looked at yesterday to choose a section that applies to your topic. Read through that section. Skip around as needed to get an idea of what that section is truly about. And then identify the central idea. We're going to practice that together. I've given each of you a copy of a bacteria article. It's a pretty tough article to read, but I want you to highlight, underline, as you read that short selection I've given you. As you're reading, I want you to think, what is this selection about? And also think about what reading strategies you used while reading. We're going to pause here to give you a few minutes to read the bacteria article, highlight and underline, and determine what this selection is about. Now that we've come back together, we're going to talk a little bit more about the central idea. The central idea of a paragraph is the point of the passage, minus all the details. For example, the forest, not all the trees. The football game, not the fans, the cheerleaders, or the players. The solar system, not the planets. How do we identify the central idea? We're going to go back and reread that same bacteria article. We're going to try and summarize with one sentence that includes the main part of every idea in the selection. We're going to look for repetition of words and ideas. So we're going to take a few minutes, and in a moment I'm going to pause the video again. I would like you to reread the bacteria article. I will come around and give each table one section that I want you to focus on, and see if you can summarize that one section in one sentence that gives us the main point of that one paragraph that you are assigned to. Okay, now that we're back together again, we're going to take a moment and let you share around the room the main idea or the central idea, the main point that you found from each of your sections. I'm going to pause so that we can do that as a class. Now that we have finished doing that as a class, we're going to look at several more practice selections on informational text so that we're more familiar with this process when you begin reading your pieces for your writing. An example we're going to do together. A new hearing device uses a magnet to hold the detachable sound processing portion in place. Like other aids, it converts sounds into vibrations. But it is unique in that it can transmit the vibrations directly to the magnet and then to the inner ear. This produces a clearer sound. The new device will not help all hearing impaired people, only those with hearing loss caused by infection or some other problem in the middle ear. It will probably help no more than 20% of all the people with hearing problems. Those people who have persistent ear infections, however, should find relief in restored hearing with the new device. I want you to take a minute and look at what ideas the above paragraph consistently repeats, and see if you can determine what's the point about this idea. We will pause so that you can take a few minutes to work this out on your own. Now that we've come back and you've worked this out on your own, I want you to take a few minutes and talk with your neighbor and see if you have the same information as your neighbor. If not, begin to hash that out together and see if we can come up with one consensus about the main idea. Now that we've concluded that, I have some additional practice sheets for you to complete. For those watching this video, you can click on the links for the central idea for students as well as central idea for teachers. I hope this has helped finding central idea and finding important information as you begin to research your topic for your informational writing piece.